Hey everybody, I'm Kate Conroy.
And I'm Vinny Civitello.
And this is Other People's Business, which is the podcast from the New Jersey Business and Industry Association, which is the largest statewide business association in the country. You can find more info on us at njbia.org. We release a new episode every other Wednesday, so be on the lookout. Subscribe would be a good suggestion so that you don't miss anything.
Yeah, njbia.org/subscribe.
Exactly. Shout out to New Jersey Manufacturers Insurance. They do home, auto, and workers' comp, and they are the official sponsor of the show, so thank you very much to them. And if you need some insurance, check them out.
Sure. So Kate took a little of my thunder with the subscribe thing.
Sorry about that.
No, it's okay. So I'll just throw in, you can check us out on iTunes, Google Play, Amazon's Alexa, anywhere you can get a podcast, we're there. You can also check us out on YouTube, and we would appreciate that. With us today of $1 Million Food Guys is Mike Jerez and John Baruti. So guys, say hi, let the audience hear your voice.
How you guys doing? How are you?
Great.
We've got this fabulous spread in front of us. Thank you so much.
Yeah. I don't know why I'm enamored by her script. I keep looking down at it, so I'll try not to do that.
Everybody loves the script.
Yeah.
I know, I love
the script.
Why don't you just take it and tip it off the table? No?
That's terrible.
It's a crutch.
Yeah.
No, it's not a crutch, but it's very helpful to have in case we need it, that's all.
Okay, all right.
Keeps us going, keeps us online.
Okay, yeah.
It's like insurance. I'd rather have it and not need it than need it and not have it.
You know who's really good at that is NJM Auto
I was
Insurance.
just going to say, see how she wrapped that up? Nice. That's a sponsor getting double segue. Good segue.
I'm telling you. Okay, so we've got an icebreaker today, and the icebreaker is, you guys are food guys, what is your all-time favorite meal?
Good, you go first.
Chicken Milanese.
Wow.
I love chicken Milanese.
Oh my God.
I might have to change my answer preemptively.
It's the simplest
What
thing.
is it? I don't think I've ever had it.
I'll let Mike describe what it is.
Well, a breaded chicken cutlet. You pan fry the chicken cutlet.
Yeah.
Some people do it in olive oil or butter, and then top it with an arugula salad. Mm-hmm. Right. Fresh mozzarella, red onion, a little. You could do roasted red pepper in there, olive oil, balsamic, whatever variation you do it. But it's just a nice breaded cutlet with a nice salad on top.
My dad would want to cook
simple.
everything for me. My dad was a really good chef.
Very simple.
And all I wanted was that. That's all I wanted. That just please make me the chicken breaded. Really?
That's
That's
so
all.
simple.
But then you could do a veal Milanese.
I was going to say veal Milanese is phenomenal.
And
Any
it's a
Milanese.
And it's a play.
Veal or chicken.
Milanese was a play on schnitzel from Germany.
Oh, yeah.
The same thing. They call it schnitzel.
Yeah.
Italians call it Milanese, but it's a pan-fried cutlet. Any kind of cutlet. Germans do it in all butter, 100% clarified butter. They cook it in.
Yeah.
So it
Well, if
makes
they're
it really
German,
rich.
so,
Yeah. And they do it with more like a shredded kraut, or they do it mashed potatoes, that more heartier style with gravy.
Yeah.
Where the Italians do a light. Usually it's arugula or rocket salad or some kind of twisted up salad on there. But you can really eat it with anything.
I'm excited because I don't know this. I don't know this answer. I've known you for a long time. What is your favorite?
Yeah, what's your favorite?
Well, I'm going to go off the rails a little bit, but
Right, we like that.
I like.
There's a shock if anybody knows.
I'm believe it or not, I like anything Chinese food.
Nice. Do you have a go-to order?
You know what? I'm a big fan of noodles. I love noodles. I've always have noodles, and I'm Italian, so you would think the pasta part would be, but I don't eat any really Italian pasta. I don't like penne or any of that stuff, but I love Asian noodles. I love ramen. I love chow fun, mai fun. I love all the different kinds of noodles that are out there. Soba, and I just love them. I love the roasted pork. I just love I don't know, it's just so good. I love all the dishes, man. I really can't complain about any of them, man. They're all good.
That's amazing. It's so ironic that you own this beautiful restaurant where you
Well,
serve...
I always cooked it for a lot of years. I cooked Asian,
Really?
yeah,
Flair, yeah.
I cooked Asian.
Yeah.
So I worked for I worked for the Chinese, the Japanese. I worked for the Korean, Vietnamese restaurants, and I just love the food. I love the people. I love the culture. I love the cuisine because it's fast. It's fast. A wok is 700 degrees, way hotter than a 300-degree saute pan. You can literally cook in 10 seconds a meal, and it's, believe it or not, if you minus the MSG and the sodium and the sugar, it's very healthy food. Fresh vegetables, just quick, sauteed with some fresh chicken or meat or shrimp. It's absolutely delicious.
Do you have woks? Have you ever?
No, I don't.
You don't have it anymore.
We had a couple of handheld woks, but it's tough to do on a regular flat.
You gotta have that.
You gotta have that
thing.
holder.
Yeah, get it.
Wow, all right.
I'm up.
Yeah.
All right, so actually I really like chicken Milanese and veal Milanese, and I love Chinese food, but I'm going to go with cheesesteak and fries. I'm a cheap date.
I was in Philly yesterday, and the only thing I didn't do, get a Philly cheesesteak. Yeah, and I wanted to, but I didn't. That's awesome.
Well,
when we had a... Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say, when you're in Philly, like downtown, it's a schlep to go to
Yes.
Gene or Pat's because it's not.
Yeah,
it's
no,
not
we weren't.
close.
Yeah, we were actually in South Philly, and then we went to the Independence Hall. So yeah.
that's so fun.
My
I
kids
love
wanted nothing to do with it.
Independence. Really?
None to
Parking around there
How
is
old
kind of a
are they?
nightmare too.
do with it. I got a ticket.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm underneath the thing that says, parking Saturday
Yeah.
to Sunday and everything. Gigantic red thing underneath that, no stopping or standing or parking.
What?
Right. So it makes no sense.
No.
So I parked there. The attendant is right down the street. And like an idiot, I was going to say, "Hey, am I in a good spot?" But I didn't. And I'm wondering, why are all the spots open? Right. So I put my money in. We walk around, come back, $51 ticket. I'm like,
Damn.
it is what it is.
$50,
Yeah.
that's-
But here's my consolation. If you go to New York, you're paying $50 to park.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Sure.
So I said, okay, we went to Philly. It was $6 for the little meter thing. So now it's 51. So 57. It's the same as if I went to New York. So that's how I justified it. Sorry, I got to justify it because I was pretty aggravated. I didn't mean to get us off on a tangent.
No.
No.
Okay.
I've been meaning to go to Barclay Prime for their $120 cheesesteak ever since Vicky White mentioned it to us when she was on the show.
Fat Girl Chronicles.
Yeah, I got somebody to agree to split it with me. It's they make it with Wagyu beef and it's a cheese truffle sauce.
What is this? Tell me.
At Barclay Prime, they make a cheesesteak for like $120. You get. I'm not a big drinker. You can. It comes with
split of
champagne.
champagne, yeah.
You can get that out of there for $95, which is what I'll do. So $95. For a cheesesteak that everybody I've talked to that's tried it has said it's phenomenal. So I keep meaning to do it. I just never get around
So
to it.
I feel like that would be really fun, but I don't know, the older grandmother in me is like, I would take such tiny bites because I'm gonna pay $100 for this cheesesteak. I want to savor it. I
should
I
savor
can't
it, you
take
know?
big bites of that cheesesteak.
You shouldn't like wolf down your
when
food
I see
anyway,
a cheesesteak, I just want to like
Yeah.
eat it really.
It would last 3 seconds.
Yeah.
I know, right?
We
3 seconds.
we would be done. Yeah.
Especially for cutting it in half,
I know, it's like taking a $100 bill and just setting it on fire and just watching it go away. Like that's how quickly
I've never had the Wagyu either. That's the other thing.
know.
I really
Do
wanna
Wagyu
try.
here?
Yeah, we do it here.
Yeah,
we
yeah.
sell a ton of it.
Ah.
Yeah.
We should have come later. They're not open.
Actually, we should say we're on location at Chef Mike's ABG, right?
Yeah, correct.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right
South
in
Seaside
Seaside.
Park.
Exactly.
Yep.
I've never been here before, but this is amazing. And the view, I'm looking at the ocean.
Yeah, we couldn't film against the ocean because the light is just way too bright. But
Yeah.
but be with me here. It's gorgeous.
I know. I took a picture. We'll post it.
Mike's one of the last. There's very
There's
few
like 8 left in the state
On
of
the
New Jersey
ocean.
on the ocean.
restaurants.
Most of them
Yeah.
got destroyed by Sandy, and the ones that are still remaining sold. A lot of them sold for real estate because they just didn't want to rebuild and do it again, and they could get triple the money for real estate because everybody wants a house on the water,
Even
just so
after
it can
Sandy.
get destroyed again.
Yeah.
Wow.
But I mean, that's what the state is doing now. They're building our dunes, so if another storm does come in, we are protected. And believe it or not, nothing happened to this restaurant during Sandy. Not even a drop
That was
of water.
amazing.
You're not on the ground. I mean, we went up a flight of
Yeah.
stairs.
Yeah, we're
You know,
high.
You've
Yeah,
got
we-
like some elevation.
Yeah, we're high, but the wave, the water came down the middle. Where you walk up to the beach and went down that way and destroyed all the restaurants down below us because we're up on elevation, but we didn't get a drop of water, nothing. Because I was watching the TV and I was looking to see it floating down in the ocean. Because you went out with Manilokin and Seaside with the roller coaster being in the
we
water
have
and stuff.
we had the ice cream store 3 miles down, and we had 3 feet of water.
Ooh.
So yeah, it
It
was,
did, but it did pick and choose though. A lot of places it went right.
literally
picked and
next
choose.
door to us. There's a little park of houses and stuff. Literally, it was like a hurricane that didn't certain things or a
tornado.
Selectively
That's-
angry.
Yeah, literally right next
really,
door.
it was
Nothing
bizarre.
happened.
It was
And I'm
really
like,
bizarre.
how can we have 3 feet of water and you have nothing? But it was freaky. It was.
What was the name
definitely
of the ice cream store down there?
freaky. It still is. It's Summer Sweets.
Summer Sweets. Oh, I'll have to give that a try.
My power
nice.
blinked just enough that I had to go around the house and reset the clocks, and I was angry about that. You know,
Where
That was
Where
it?
you-
That's all you had?
that's all I got from Sandy.
Where do
but,
you live?
I hate you.
At the time, I was in Flemington. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
but
God.
no, the thing that got me there though was that everybody else's power went out, so
Right.
we were like Motel Civitello for like a little while there.
Nice.
Yeah. How about you? What's your favorite meal?
It's just a childhood dish that my dad makes. It's chow mein, but chow mein the way that a little store called Su Yep in downtown St. Paul, which is no longer there anymore, used to make it. And when they closed, my dad decided he was going to become a chef, and he decided to
Literally a
recreate.
chef, or-
No,
Oh, okay, sorry.
he just decided to recreate this dish from scratch based on taste, and it took like a year, and he did it, and so
And
now,
you loved it.
and I love it, and so every time I go home, he makes it for me.
That's great.
Yeah,
Either our mothers or our
Help me
fathers,
out. I'm
right?
not getting a visual. What's chow mein? Is that like I know lo mein. We were just talking about Chinese
noodles.
So chow mein in there is like okay, so there's rice and there's chow mein noodles, and then
You can't define a word with the word.
I can't. What you did Asian food? Tell
Well,
me.
it's basically mixed vegetables and
Yeah.
white sauce
Yeah.
with chow mein noodles, which are crispy
Yeah,
fried
that's
noodles on top.
Okay.
That's exactly right.
We'll go with
It's
that.
perfect.
Sounds good.
Yeah,
Served over white rice.
that's exactly right.
Now, there's a big Asian population in Minnesota.
there is.
I know a lot about it. I did a lot of research on it. One of my favorite food guys is Andrew Zimmerman
Okay.
from Bizarre Foods, and he's from Minnesota. He's
that.
originally in New York, and then now he lives in Minnesota. So, and he opened up an Asian restaurant actually there. But
Cool.
he did a lot of shows there and stuff like that. So,
Is he still doing that? Strange food? on-
No, he's off the air.
Oh, he is.
Yeah, he's off the air. Yeah.
All right. Well, I think that was the icebreaker, right?
Yeah, sorry,
Yeah.
I was going to do it, and then I saw you talking, and I was like, oh, what was she going to say? But yeah. No, so anyway, so tell us about $1 Million Food Guys.
So we I went to Mike, and we've been in the food business for a long time. We don't want to say how long because we're old.
Over 30 years.
Yeah, over 30 years. Yeah.
I've been in the eating business over 30 years.
Nice. See,
sure.
we have something in common.
There you
Me
go.
too.
And both me and Mike have a lot of restaurant experience, food experience, and I talk to a lot of customers all day long because I own a wholesale bakery. So, and one of my biggest jobs are going to customers, making sure they're happy, making sure they're getting the right product. And so talking to them all the time, we all have challenges, right? And it'll be a 5-minute conversation that all of a sudden turns into an hour and a half of just talking about business and talking about the food industry. And like I said, me and Mike have been doing it for a while, and this whole, I guess, YouTube and social media, we were talking about it off camera, right? It's getting, not that it's getting huge, it's huge, it's here, right? And
Yeah.
I'm thinking,
We love our YouTube audience.
We do.
YouTube, we love it. $1 Million Food Guys.
Yeah.
Okay. So I approached Mike with this. I'm like, I think we would be great together. Doing something and having fun. Is it going to turn into anything? I don't know. But I know when we get together, we have a lot of fun. And I know when we get together, all we do is talk about the food business, either the bakery, the ice cream store, or the restaurant, and the trials and tribulations. So that's how it started. So I own the Harvest House Bakery. It's a wholesale bakery, Farmingdale, New Jersey. We own Summer Sweets, which is right down the street. It's an ice cream store. And obviously, Michael owns Atlantic Bar and Grill, Mike's ABG, which is a phenomenal restaurant. And Mike's one of my longest and closest friends and a customer. So, and that's how the whole thing started. And we're having a ball doing it.
So not only am I a friend, I'm a customer.
I was thinking the same thing, right? With the hair thing? Yeah, right?
I like
Not only am I a friend, but I'm a customer. I wear it.
Look,
Like
sorry.
it.
Look. This is John's product right here. Started with us, actually.
We
were-
made that for you.
Yes. 2000. 2000, we wanted to do a breadstick, and I came to him, and we've been using John every restaurant I've ever had in New Jersey since I've been in this business. That he started, we always did used his product, and or if he wasn't making his own product, calandras or whatever, so we always used them. But I said I really want to do something different for the table because I'm always looking for something unique, and for the basket, because the baskets are basically boring around here. They're the same bread roll. It's like blah blah blah. So we wanted to do. We still do bread, but we do this on this. People love breadsticks. They love to dip into things, and so John went back and created this breadstick. Different than this product, much more crustier, hardier, not as crusted.
It was a jawbreaker.
Right.
Let's be honest.
But it was good. It was good.
Listen, it was a jawbreaker.
It was good
Right.
to dip into
Yeah.
like balsamic, olive oil, butter, and you just crunch it. And people would crunch it on their salad. Like we've seen people do everything with these things, but it became a phenomenon here. It became
People
something
would
where
literally call us up because they came here and had the breadstick.
because they're like, where you're getting them, where you're getting them, where we would tell them. But I remember one time you didn't have production on it or whatever. We didn't have them, and you would have thought a riot broke out. You would have thought like people were coming up to me in the window, and we have an open kitchen, screaming at me, going, "I came here for the breadsticks." I'm like, really? That's all you
You
came
guys have
for?
very aggressive customers.
I go, really? That's all you came for was breadsticks? All right, they're $5.
Mike's phenomenal food, but they're coming for my stinky breadsticks.
Yeah, it's great. It was great. Like people would go nuts. Like I'm only here one time a year, and I came for that breadsticks. I'm like, well, listen, man.
So let me ask you a question. How did we come up with it? You wanted something crunchy, right? And
Oh, I wanted a breadstick, and I said, come up with a breadstick, and you came up with the everything crusted, and you know, and then it just.
But that's when we used to actually literally cut them.
You were doing it by hand.
Breadstick by hand.
Correct. And they were big. They were way bigger than this. They were like this big. And I remember in the beginning of the issue with the packaging with the issue, because he would just take them and wrap them in bubble wrap. And by the time we would get them, the driver was like throwing it out the window, the boxes, and we get them and like they'd all be broken in half. So we would I remember the staff, the little ends and all the busted pieces in the back by the coffee machine. They would have a bowl of these things, and they would come back, and as they're making a cappuccino, they'd be eating the little breadstick ends throughout the whole entire night, or putting it in their soup as like a crouton, or. And I remember my bartenders at the end of the night just grabbing their meal dinner was a handful of breadsticks, dipping it in balsamic, and that was their and they were.
Is that how you started with the salads too? I know because you put it in a lot of salads.
Yes, we put it in our chopped salad. We have them sticking out of our salads. We figured, what the hell? People are cracking them on there anyway, and it's kind of like a breadstick going to salad. Much different than the Olive Garden breadstick with the salad. Much different. Don't confuse the two. This is the real deal.
Yeah. Oh my God.
So, and then over the years, it became bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. I remember the first box we got was like $5 a box. Now it's like
here we go. I never hear the end of this. Never hear the end of it. Never.
Wow.
Going to 30 this year.
You got to hook them first.
Listen, and the reality is, I buy the bread. I buy all my bread from him, the boules, the sticks. Awesome. And so the bread, the regular bread, it's like $30-$40 for the regular bread. 2 boxes of breadsticks, $60.
Oh my God.
It's double. It's more than the regular
bread.
More than the regular bread.
I will say that if the bread is good enough, I could live on bread and water alone.
But I tell you what, though, it's one of those items where it doesn't cost, it doesn't matter to me. It's if I took this off, it's almost like we are known for this. There's like 3 or 4 things we're actually known for, and this is one of them.
Which is awesome to know.
And it's a great thing, to him, to us, and the people really do love it. And we always have extra now in house.
And especially because we created it for him, right? And I tell everybody that, we. Specifically, actually, we didn't sell it, and this wasn't Mike saying you can't sell, because Mike would never do that to me. You can't sell us to anybody else. But I just felt, over the years, I'm like, no, that's Mike's thing. Oh, can we? No, it's Atlantic Bar and Grill. And then what would literally happen is people would get nasty and like, why is only Mike allowed to have the breadsticks? And then we started.
How did they find out that that's where they?
Because they would come here and eat. Other chefs come here all the time to eat.
They do.
Oh, and they ask.
Yeah, Mike's a well-known chef. He's been around for a long time.
Typically, you go to a restaurant, there's bread on the table. You just assume that they're making it. You know, like I don't think to ask who made this bread.
99% of the places around here are not making their own bread.
And a lot of them do.
That's why we use
I didn't know that.
Yeah, a lot of them. So, and same thing with bakeries. Like you go into a bakery and you think, well, that's their bread. Nah, it's really not. 9 times out of 10, it's ours or another bakery's bread, making it for the smaller bakery. And the reason being is because bread's a dying art, right? Like if you're a cake bakery or a cupcake bakery, you're not making bread. It's not the same thing, right? So most of the times they buy it from a bakery like mine or somebody else's. So bread.
There's actually famous Italian markets, I'm not going to mention any names, that actually use his product and repackage it as their own name, their own brand.
You can do that?
Yeah, of course.
Like, that's
that's
he's getting paid for it,
right?
It's
I was gonna say they do it at like the.
Oh my God,
Like I know by me, they get all their bagels from this. I was gonna say kick butt place near me that's that's a bakery.
Yes.
And they don't tell you like, this came from Main Street Bagel.
We bring bagels, not that I make. So I bring in bagels and I sell them to supermarkets. And they tell people that they make it's just industry wide, and because it makes sense because you can't make everything. You just can't, right? And if you try, you're going to stink at something, right? So you figure, let me buy it from the person that's doing it the best, right? And then stick my label on it. And people like us, I don't care.
Yeah, I don't care.
Yeah.
But see, I brought that up to him. That was exactly my reaction to him. I went to him going, because I want him to get his name out there. Like it's all, for me, I'm about branding. Yeah. And I'm like, well, you should be branding. And he's like, I'm getting paid for it.
Right.
I'm getting
$65 a box of bread.
Yeah, but it's not like
we didn't get the 65 then. We're at 30.
65.
That's for 2 boxes.
2 boxes is 65. Okay.
You gotta hit the 33. But the deal is for him, he's like, wait a minute, it's a business for me.
Yeah.
I'm getting paid. They're not getting a discount, so
we're in a different type of business.
He's looking to make money and sell his product.
Sure.
So for him, he doesn't care.
Yeah.
If someone, you know what I'm saying? So for me, I'm very brand. I'd be like, no way, man, my brand's got my name's gotta be on there. Yeah. But for him, and I remember I came to you that one day and I was like, why? And he's like, I'm getting paid for it. I'm like, okay. That's fine by me. Yeah. If he's cool with it, I mean,
I have no.
Because I always wanted to go in there and make a big stink about it. I'm like, these ain't your. But I didn't.
And I had to get over that because even like people will put our bread in their bread bags, and I had to get over that.
Yeah.
Right. Well. And but being a wholesaler, you have to, it doesn't now. maybe I would have been smarter listening to Mike and gone with the brand, either Brewery Bakery or Harvest House Bakery. But for us, it's volume. It's just volume.
And too, we're always constantly changing our menus and changing because we're very seasonal, so we're changing with the seasons. But we also change our bread with every menu too. So having John, I can sit and I go, listen.
He challenges me. There's no doubt.
I'm like, I want to do this, and he'll like send like 20 different samples of stuff that he's either working on. Because I love when he's working on new projects, because I kind of like to be the first on a lot of stuff. You know what I'm saying? So if he's working on a new idea, he might send it to me. Here, try this out, because he knows this is our like research and development house where he's got a real live audience, because he did a lot of R&D with this. Well, we changed it over the year, and people, let me get your reaction. I'll be honest with you. They didn't like it. They liked it. They hated it. They like it. And he goes back and makes adjustments. So we're his R&D.
Do you have a favorite bread that comes out of Harvest House?
Me, I love crusty. That's the old school Italian in me. The old crusty bread that you can dunk, because I'm a dunker.
Stuffed in the middle and
I love to dunk.
Outside?
I will dunk. I have a concept for a restaurant just called Dunk, where you just get all kinds of crazy bread and just sauces, and all you do is sit and dunk all day long and eat. And you'd be full, believe it or not.
Oh, I know.
You know what I'm saying?
I would be down for that. What is that? Futon? Not futon. What is it with the thing in the middle?
Oh,
with the fire.
I know what you're talking about, like the melting pot.
What is it?
Fondue.
Fondue, not futon. Fondue.
Did you say futon? All right, we'll let you go. You're Michigan, right?
Yeah.
You said me? Okay, we'll go past that. Okay.
But see, the fun thing, I just love but I love bread. It can't be soggy. It's got to have that. And I love anything with seeds. I love a crusted sesame. Like, he makes us a French stick, and it's a really crusty piece of bread with the seeds on it. I come in every morning. I just tear the end off. It's called the ghoul. I tear the end off, and I just dunk it into butter, olive oil, and I just gnaw on it.
What I gotta say, I haven't done in a while. We're making a twist, right? Just a regular twist, but we're soaking it and then dunking it into the seeds to make it super seeded, like with the sesame seeds.
I like that.
I know you would. I gotta send that over to you.
I love that stuff.
Okay, sorry.
So tell me a little bit about the show. What do you guys talk about on the show?
Talk about the show.
That's kind of what we're doing.
Yeah, we do exactly what we're doing now.
Perfect. You're getting a little slice of life.
But the thing is, what we bring up is topics that are affiliated with the restaurant business and what's happening in the current situation with the market, what's happening with the state rules and regulations, and keeping people aware of what's happening. We talk a lot about the $15 an hour minimum wage increase by our governor. We had a 3-part segment on that.
We're still not done with that. We're still probably going to get into
it. We have to.
We're not.
We talk about, like, our last episode was about gluten-free and dietary restrictions in the restaurant business, or in his business. Like, people are asking for these dietary restriction stuff. So it's topics that are current. And we're also starting to introduce special guests into our thing. Our next one, we're talking about nutrition in the industry, on how
our horrible food habits.
Our habits, ourselves, not what the people eat. It's about where we are.
Standing up.
We eat when we walk around, like you said. We eat like you're walking down a line. We eat a lot of carbs, like a French fry or mashed potatoes or a piece of pasta or a chicken finger. Right. We're not a normal 9 to 5 family where we don't sit down at 5 o'clock. Hi, honey, I'm home. Have a nice dinner. Mom made dinner. You all sit down together. Have a nice salad. Have a balanced meal. We don't live that lifestyle. We usually eat like at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. We have 2 or 3 o'clock and have lunch, and it's usually whatever. And you pick throughout the whole entire night to keep your energy up, because you're pumping, you're stressed, and then you're done at 11, 12 o'clock at night. You have a couple of cocktails. What are you doing at 1 or 2 in the morning? You're eating a sub. You're eating pizza. You're eating leftover Chinese food. You're eating, you know what I'm saying? And next thing you know, you're 350 pounds. You have diabetes. You're on death's door.
It affects a large part of our industry, right?
Massive.
So and obviously it affects me, Mike. We're big guys, right? And we've been battling with it our whole lives.
I yo-yo up and down like crazy
all the time, right? And I mean, whatever our body styles are, I mean, let's say we never went into the food business, we might have still had that, but the food business exacerbates that.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Right? You're eating on the road, you're wolfing food down in the middle of having a meeting or talking to somebody or staff meetings and stuff. It's just, it really is not good, our eating habits. And so our next episode is going to be with one of Mike's friends that owns a local restaurant. We're just, and Lou has battled with it, right?
Yeah, Lou, he was battled with being overweight, and he changed his lifestyle around. He got this gastric sleeve, and then he's cut sugar out. He's 180 pounds now. He's in the best shape of his life. And he lives a different lifestyle now. He doesn't drink alcohol. He has no sugar. He has no this, no that. And he's a person that we want to talk to see how he went from one extreme to complete opposite. And it affects all of us in this industry. and I don't even know the last time I even saw a skinny chef. I don't even remember seeing one. There's no like really skinny like.
I think Top Chef was the last time I saw skinny chef.
Yeah, but they're commercial. It's like it's on TV.
Yeah.
So they take the 300 people that come in and the 2 skinny ones that look good. Yeah, we'll put you on
I did
TV.
have a couple of skinny chefs, but they were on crystal and cocaine. So that was the only thing that. Well, that's another.
Great diet plan.
Well, that's another
Or crack,
section we're going to talk about.
We do not endorse that as a diet plan. I
It's
just
not
feel
a
like
good
getting
diet
that out there right now.
plan. That's not the diet plan you want, but does it exist? Yes, we cannot think that it doesn't exist. But that's another subject we have is about addiction.
Something we'll bring up, right? The drug problem that we have in the industry.
Addiction in the industry is massive. I mean, massive. Not only drugs, but alcohol is very, very prevalent because what we do, especially in the restaurant, more than like a bakery situation, is it's a very stressful environment where we're equivalent to being a rock star on stage. You're in front of 50,000 people. Everybody's screaming and loving you, and and then the minute you call off stage and go in your dressing room, and there's no one there, and it's silent, and it's quiet, but you still want that adrenaline rush. You still want that. So what do? You have a drink, and it puts you in a different place. Same sort of like our business is you're pumping all along. You're done at night. What do? You have a drink, but a lot of it is to calm yourself down. The drinking is a sedative. In my case, I get very sleepy. I have 2 drinks and I'm asleep, which is a thing for me. I fall right to sleep. Other guys get rowdy, they get crazy, they go all night long. So everybody deals with it in a certain different way. But it's that vice that you have after work, after that going 100 miles an hour. You need something to take you away from that when you're done. Some people do it to sleep, they can't sleep afterwards. And I'm not just talking about there's pills involved, there's drug, everybody has their own little vices. Maybe some people have all those vices combined. I've known a lot of people that do all of that, and their life expectancy is not that great. Yeah. I've had people die on me before. I've had people die in my industry and that work for me that just were like so over the top with addiction.
So these are the things we talk about, man. We get together. We don't have. I know I was busting on you about your script, but we should probably be, a little more structured. But we're not. Like we talk together. We say, what are we going to talk about? And then we just go off. We've known each other for so long, literally since 5 years old? Yeah, we grew up 3 houses away from each other.
And we're 50 years old.
Yeah. So and the way that and I just learned, and if you go to our channel and watch it, the first episode is me and Mike talking because we're so busy, we haven't really talked to each other. And I said, Mike, what really got you to be a chef? I know my mom and dad had a restaurant when I was small. And I didn't realize, even though we would go there and play at the restaurant, I didn't know he loved it so much. I hated it.
Right.
I hated it.
Because it was yours.
Right.
Yeah.
And my dad I had to do the dishes. And I had to do all these things. And then, Mike was my best friend. So I'm like, all right, come to the restaurant. We got to. And he loved it. Right. And I didn't realize that's where
But we had 2 different reactions of it. Because he saw his family in it and he's seen what it's doing to his family and how his family reacts and how the hardship. Because there's a lot of hardship in this restaurant industry. Yeah. There's no golden rainbow. There's no. Anybody tells you that the $1 Million Food Guys is not because we're millionaires.
Right.
It's because both of our businesses
we do millions of dollars
in business, and that's where the name came from.
Okay.
It's not because me and him are multimillionaires.
Yeah, I'm glad he made that clear because we don't want to be pretend like when we came up with it, we loved the name, and then I'm like, oh wow, people are going to think we're pretentious. But it's because our businesses do millions of dollars, and being in New Jersey, it's a little tough to make profit on that. Right. But that's where we came up with the name.
That's where we came up with the name. But to see, there's a lot of hardship in this industry. It's tough to make it. We really work for nickels and dimes, and people don't really. Everybody thinks, oh, you own a restaurant, you're a millionaire. Not even close. Not even in the same ballpark. But he saw that, the hardship part of it. Me, I saw the action, the fire, the flames, the loudness, the bang of the pans, the throwing of it, the noise, the adrenaline. Like that's what I was like, because I was always been aggressive, really out front.
Oh Billy Idol.
Yeah, I want to get into this. Like this is me. Like, I want to get out there and get crazy, and that's the love where I saw. Where he saw the insanity of it, like the nonsense, the not good in it, and I saw the good in it. But I didn't see what he saw until now.
Yeah.
Like now I understand everything that he's saying. Everything.
It's a little late now.
Little late. Okay. But I see everything that he's. I understand everything crystal clear. But. It took 34 years to figure that out,
and we do love it. So right,
it's in our blood. Yeah. We have nothing else. Yeah. What am I gonna? If I leave here tomorrow, what am I gonna do? Yeah. I can't be an auto mechanic. I'm not open. of a car. I pay people to do that.
It's our first bleep.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I can't mow a lawn. I don't know how to even start a lawnmower. I just never was that home. My dad was. My dad did everything. You couldn't.
Yeah. Mike's dad fixed everything.
And did everything, and I was the opposite. I paid people to do it.
Yeah.
Me too.
So
my dad's too.
Yeah.
I got and my mom was like, "Oh, how come you never help your dad?" I go, "My dad comes home with dirty hands every night from doing multiple things that he does. He was a builder, a truck driver, he fixed car, he did everything." I said, "But for me, his hands are greasy. My hands are covered in garlic. I do a different kind of work. He can't do what I do, and I can't do what he does." And that's how I made sense of it. I'm still working 14 hours a day, 15 hours a day in 130 degree.
He ran away from what his father was doing, and I ran away from what my father was doing.
And I can't be right now, but you're right. Because I didn't want to do that.
Right.
But in a sense, I was doing the same thing, just in a completely different
Yes.
you know, I still worked 100 hours a week. My hands were still dirty. I had burns and calluses and more knife cuts, and then, you know, that's what it is. We call them kitchen tattoos, all the burns. I had burns up and down my arm. You know, I flipped a piece of salmon one time. The hot oil came up and burned my whole skin off my face.
Oh my gosh.
The skin actually rolled off my face. So these are the things. And what do? You put water on. You keep working because you can't stop. You got a full house. You gotta get the food out.
Unbelievable.
There is no crying. There is no crying.
There's no crying in the food business.
There's no crying in culinary.
Well, you probably burned out your
bandage it up
anyways.
The next
cut my thumb off.
Bandage it up. Exactly. I mean, that's what we do. Duct tape and glue. We always keep a roll of duct tape on the line. You get burned, you wrap it up with duct tape, and if you're cut, you wrap it up with duct tape, and you go. And you go to the hospital maybe after work, and they sew your stuff back on.
Maybe after work.
Maybe.
I mean,
But you think he's kidding, but he's truly not. Like this business is that mental. It just isn't, and he ingrains that into it.
We're absolutely out of it.
I'm getting a visual, and this is so weird, but in the comic books, the Joker cut off his face, and he just bandaged himself up with these like mummy bandages and just kept going. That's what I'm picturing.
It's a great simile.
You know what? We are absolutely insane. And if anybody was insane, if you were sane, you can't do this business.
No.
Because the stuff that goes on. And I tell people all the time, because they go, "Oh, it must be nice to do this." And we talked about, I have a boat and I have a car, I have a couple cars. It must be so nice to go on a nice vacation. Yep, it really is nice. After 34 years of putting my body, my mind, everything through the most horrific situations, because people, you have no idea what it takes to put this show on. No idea. Unless you've done it and been in the pit, you have no idea what it takes. All everybody sees is the glorious part. They don't see the hardships, the working, not being with my family. I seen my son's here. I seen him at 18 years, maybe, I only saw him one time a week out of 18 years. I mean, that's insanity. You know what I'm saying? If you look back on that. People get divorced, they lose their houses, they go back. I mean, it's just the stuff that goes on.
Business. And so this is why everything he's saying is exactly why we do the channel, right? Because so many people in our industry deal with that. Yeah. And, it's kind of like, even though we're on this side of the camera, right? But they can relate to it. Right, so even though they can't talk to us or they email us, but like we know that this goes on literally every day in our industry. I thought I was being a genius getting out of the restaurant business, getting into the baking business. Yeah, not so much. It's it's 7 days. My business is 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. Because if the bakery's not baking, the drivers are driving, and it's just the reality is it doesn't matter if it's a restaurant, a bakery, a deli. It's the food business. It's all consuming, right? Because our job is to make the customer's experience the best. And doing that is like a hamster wheel.
It's a grind.
It's a grind. Yeah. So that's why we did the channel. We figured this is something great to talk about. We love talking about it, even though like we hate it. It's like that we hate it, but we love it. So we figured we'll put it together.
And we have the knowledge to back up what we're saying because we experienced it.
Yeah.
We
and
got
still
to
experience it.
Yeah, but we lived a lot of the stuff. So we're not newbies in it. So when we're sharing our real life experience, and we're brutally honest. Brutally honest.
We're toning it down, Kate. We're toning it down.
Some people, like it. Some people don't. They're offended by it. But at least we're not, beating around the bush. We're not a poser.
Yes. No posers.
No posers.
Yeah, I was going to say, you order a burger at a restaurant without onions and it shows up with onions and you give that sigh of frustration. Maybe it'd be good to know that the chef on the other end of the wall burned his face off, is holding it together with some bandages and just barely getting the burger out the door.
And he has a knife, by the way. Always remember that. We have knives. We're the only profession that actually has dangerous weapons. So when people come up and they want to start some stuff, guess what's going to happen to you?
Okay, Kate, where's our
Script.
Our script.
Okay, yeah. At this point in the script, we usually take a quick break.
Yeah, so let's do
nice.
that.
Take a quick break, and then when we come back, we're going to play a game called Awful or Awesome.
Awesome.
We get to eat now.
Yeah, we do.
Sure.
We're gonna
Nice.
get more.
Yeah, buddy.
Okay. We are back. Welcome back. And it's time to play the game Awful or Awesome. We're definitely recording, right?
We are definitely recording, Kate.
I love it. Okay, so we're going to play this game Awful or Awesome. I'm going to name 3 things. We each have to say whether we think that they're awful or awesome and be prepared to defend your answers.
Okay.
Ready?
Ready?
Go.
Okay, cilantro.
Eh?
No, it's
It's
game
awful?
called
I gotta
or
say
awesome.
awful?
But it's
Yeah.
meh, isn't it? Meh.
Nah.
Meh.
Okay.
It wasn't worth the M. How's that?
Wow.
I don't know. You and I went somewhere. We went to a restaurant. And I can't remember the name, but we had cilantro, and it was phenomenal. And so I'm like, oh, I like this. You know, it was the first time I had it. And then I went and ordered it somewhere else on something, and I was just like, and every time I've gotten it since then, it's been bad. So I don't know what that one restaurant did.
I think you're misremembering that first restaurant.
Am I?
I don't think it was cilantro. It was something else.
I thought it was.
Do you remember what it was in?
Lobsters.
Oh.
I would not have eaten lobster, so no.
Yeah. No, I mean, I promise you, we had lobster on the table. It was like an orange kind of a sauce, and yeah.
Oh, was it that place in Red Bank?
Yes. Catch, I want to say. It was great. So, you know, if you can name check it, you know, yeah.
You're eating lobster and you're NJBIA?
I know, right? Only when other people. Only when other
We're in
people
the
pay.
wrong boat.
Only when people take us out.
We were guests. We were filming there that
We
day.
don't order it when we're, you know.
I gotta talk to Bobby about that.
Shout out to Bob Conklin.
Yeah. What's up, Bob?
Hey, Bob.
All right, cilantro.
Awesome.
Wrong.
Wrong. Wow.
And I'll tell you the reason why. Because without it, there would be no Mexican food.
Yeah.
There
So-
would. It would just taste good.
Every Mexican dish you ever had.
Well, we know what Kate's answer is
So,
because I'm on the
every
mic.
every salsa, everything you ever had,
Guacamole.
everything is made with cilantro.
And then it tastes like soap.
Now,
It-
well, cilantro, listen, has if you love it or you hate it, like
Yeah,
you said,
yeah,
and some people has that dish soap. It has like exactly what you said, but without it. And I love Mexican food too,
Yeah.
because of the freshness and just again the culture. I love the culture. That without it, it just doesn't fly. Green sauce, any kind of salsa, anything is made with cilantro. So
Unfortunately. You go ahead.
Before my wife, I would have said awful. Now, for the last 13 years, my wife is a big Mexican. She loves guacamole. Is like a huge thing. We make it fresh, so I love my wife's guacamole. And when she does, we don't have cilantro. It sucks. So.
Really?
Yeah.
I do love Mexican food. I mean,
Yeah.
chimichangas was up there during the first part of the show. It was like, I mean, nothing beats cheesesteaks for me, but, chimichangas were definitely up there.
A little bit of cilantro in there. Yeah,
there you go.
Yeah, kick it up. So I think we know what Kate's answer is, but go
Yeah.
ahead.
Yeah,
Throw
go
it.
ahead. I think it's
Wisconsin, Wisconsin, I don't think they can even.
Yeah,
Do
we
they
don't,
even
we don't
have
have that
cilantro
there.
out
Such thing as,
Yeah, we don't have it there. I don't know. It just makes everything taste like soap to me.
Wow.
That's interesting. I never.
well, I'd say you either love it or you hate it. There's
Yeah.
no.
Never got that.
There's no in between. I'm not even sitting in between. Like there's really no in between.
A server told me once that it's because it's an allergy, like there's an allergic reaction, and that's why it tastes like soap. But I don't know.
I never tasted.
Well, the other thing is coriander, which is cilantro also in the seed form. So if you put coriander on anything, you're eating cilantro.
But it tastes different because it's the seed form. Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah. All right.
Interesting.
Next up, posers. I think I heard that you have a strong-ish feeling.
We had a off-air conversation
Well, you
about
can-
this. Otherwise,
you can
we
go-
wouldn't do that. It's an awful or
Okay,
awesome.
well, you go first because
Oh, posers are awesome, right? No, I mean,
I'm
fake
kidding.
people in general, it always gets on my nerves. So I don't think I can rant about it as much, but yeah.
Yeah.
Awful.
I agree. Awful.
Well, you know my answer. It's completely awful. And the problem is that I see so much of it that you get to the breaking point. It never would bother me. I'd be like, yeah, whatever. But now it just drives me. I guess because I'm getting older and getting grouchy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
That's
saying?
definitely what's
And
happening.
The fake people, I just,
It's like an allergic reaction for you.
for me, it's if you're gonna be something, be it. Stop. You can't do it halfway. You know what I'm saying? If you want to be a player, be a player. You want to be a gangster, be a gangster. You want to be a rock star, be a rock star. Don't do anything halfway. The other day, just like little things just drive me crazy. I'm just gonna go on one thing, and that's it
go
because I
for
can
it.
go on
Yeah,
forever.
Kick it,
But-
Mike.
Bring it.
Driving my car and I see this kid or older guy with a hopped up supercar Mustang, tricked out, big mufflers, loud as hell, scoop, all this stuff, right? And he's doing 10 miles an hour. Listen, you want to be a hot shot in a hot car, use the big pedal on the right.
Right.
Let's go. You know what I'm saying? Be somebody. Step up.
Wow.
Don't be a little hump in the car. You know, like driving it like this.
Mike's raced boats before, so he's a fast. Yeah,
Sure.
I like everything fast.
I mean, you don't know. He could be like kind of making the car go easy so that at night you can be doing the drag racing.
No, he was just driving like that. That's the way he drove. Because I was with him. We were driving together for a while, and I was like,
the poser
I
thing.
just wanted to
when we do the
crazy.
videos, he does a rant almost every one. It's a big thing for him. Yeah.
I mean, it's just one of those things. Like, there's nothing that's, you know, in the old days there might be like something that was just universally cool, and now like things are so fragmented that you don't have to like pretend to like
not
something.
fragmented, but quick, right? Like everything's so fast.
Yeah.
Well, the thing with me too is these you know, going back to our industry, is these people, the entitlement is they're pretending to be something that they're not and have no skill set, but yet they want that money. No, you don't get that money. I'm sorry, you don't deserve.
Do you mean
nothing.
chefs in general?
Cooks, anybody that comes in and believes that there's something that they're not, with no skill set. Biggest thing right now is the culinary schools, because the Food Network destroyed our industry, completely destroyed our industry.
That's interesting.
Oh my God, it's the worst thing that could ever have
Mentally,
happened.
not
Because you're home, you're a young kid, you're 17, you're thinking about getting into culinary.
Thank you. I didn't think I looked 17.
You're
but
putting on
I'll
the
take
Food
the
Network,
compliment.
and you see all these celebrity chefs. The celebrity chefs are making millions and millions of dollars, not only on TV, but they have book deals, they have their own knives, their own aprons, their own pots. They're driving in these $100,000 cars, and they're traveling Hawaii.
5 miles an hour.
They're gonna cook in a big. They're gonna cook in a mansion in Hawaii on a little grill, and they're gonna make a delicious kebab for their family, and they're making millions of dollars. So the kid sitting at home goes, "Oh my God, that's what I want to be. I want to be the $1 million guy driving the $1 million car in Hawaii and have my own set of knives." Fine. They don't realize you got to work 30 years to get up to that level.
You got to burn your face off at least twice.
At least. They think it's instantaneous. So they get out of school and like, okay, I graduated culinary school. Where's my $1 million? Where's my car? Where's my cool knives? I'm worth $1 million now. So they come to me, a restaurant like me, and I sit down with them. I said, you're going to start a minimum wage. And they go, minimum wage? Wait a minute. I graduated culinary school. I get $18, $20 an hour. Why? You haven't done anything. Well, because Bobby Flay makes that kind of money. Well, you're not Bobby Flay. And again, going back to the music, because I'm a musician, keep going back to it. It's like this. Everybody wants to be the rock star before they're the roadie. Okay? Everybody wants to be Bon Jovi, but no one knows how to set up the stage or the guitars or the drums first. They just want to be instantly Bon Jovi.
Is that the career path for a rock star?
Okay.
I didn't think you had to start out as a roadie and the rock star. I thought you kind of had to make your dues like doing the crummy gigs. And
No. You got to but you got to load in your own equipment.
Oh, sure.
You got to set up your own drums. You got to set up your own amps. You got to do all that stuff first. All right?
Okay.
You just don't walk on stage. Let's say you're just starting. You got your first gig ever. You just don't walk on stage. You got to bring your own guitar in. No one's going to do it for you.
But your industry is very different in that respect, I think. So a sous chef coming in with a degree, like a 4-year degree, is making minimum wage. That's...
Well, he's not a sous
He
chef.
couldn't be a sous chef.
I'm sorry, I don't know the terminology.
No,
So
you're,
he's like a
you're
line?
right. He wants to be the sous chef.
I see,
And
okay.
that's
Right.
Mike's problem. Like, he
You got
comes
to work
in.
your way up to it.
Right. It's like I graduated Seton Hall from finance, right? It's like me going to Wall Street and say, okay, I want to trade today. They'd be
Right.
like, okay, make your 1,000 calls, right? Get, there's steps. But what Mike's saying, it's because it's been so hyped, right?
Right.
On the networks and stuff, that the kids think they should come in and
There's
be,
a sense of entitlement.
be Bobby Flay.
But they think that's what it is, though. They think that's what the industry is.
Right.
You know, my favorite thing is I've thrown more kids out of here than you could ever imagine, and I've had their parents call and tell me that I yelled at their son or daughter, and why are you yelling at them? I says, because they're worthless. And they need to be yelled at. I said, but I'm not going to go down that road. No, I'm not gonna, but
we'll leave that for our video.
But
I was going to say, I'm sure you're not worth
for me, I
might have
work.
just not been qualified for the position.
I work very, very hard, very, very
I'm going to
hard.
save that outline for the next review that I have to give.
I worked very, very hard to get to my career, my level of working under a lot of great chefs and got paid nothing, not even minimum wage, like $2, $3, sometimes no money, just to work under a great chef and to learn and to apprentice. And I was so hungry in it, but I never came out of. I went to culinary school. I went to Johnson & Wales. I graduated at the top of my class. Do you think I went out and said, "Oh my God, I'm a chef now"? I said, "No, I'm not even a cook yet. I have to." Is that
what people do when they become chefs? They go.
They do. In Mike's world. And you got to understand, back in the day, and we're talking 80s now, when I went to culinary school, was the chef was known for the big white hat and the checkered pants, and the chef coat. Of course. The cook wore the white cook pants, a white cook shirt, and a small paper hat. That's how you recognized who was who in the kitchen. There was a level of,
hierarchy.
Exactly, and you know who was who just by the way they were dressed. Yeah. Okay. So I remember I worked my butt off to get my first sous chef job, and I finally got to put my checkered pants on. And I couldn't tell you, I was the proudest moment in my life that I got to put my checkered pants on and get rid of, and actually wear a chef coat and get to start with the hat. That's where I don't see any of the kids today. That's what I'm trying to do. Yeah. They come in and they already want the hat and the checkered without even working up to that. It's like, I'm even making it more simplified. It's like going into the military as a grunt, starting off, and you want to be the general. It's the same thing. You want to wear the general uniform. You haven't even went through basic training yet. That's exactly what it's like.
So it's the poser thing.
And so I put them through. What I do is I give everybody the opportunity, because there might be 1 in a billion shining stars that come out and actually do the job. So who knows? Maybe I do have that shining star.
Right.
So I put them through a test. Everybody that walks in my kitchen has to do a chopped competition like that. So
we talked about this on one of our shows, where they get this 12-foot spoon and they got to stir the stupid. I hate those things.
No. The chop competition where we put mystery ingredients on a sheet pan, and you have to create a dish in 1 hour just using those ingredients.
Okay. Not using crab claw hands or anything silly.
No.
Okay.
Real deal.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's a sheet pan. We pick out the ingredients and we make it really hard, and they have to create a dish, and they can use anything in my kitchen, any plates. And we watch them for 1 hour, and we're watching them, and I could tell you within 3 seconds, if you know what you're doing, just the way you hold yourself in the kitchen, the way you hold your knife, the way you cut, that you know what you're doing. And most of the time, 90% of them have no idea what they're doing. They can't even hold a knife. Their hands are shaking. They're cutting their hands. And I'm like, okay, so the food we get is an atrocity. But they're telling me that they're this, and they have a piece of paper saying, I did this
Bring
competition.
It back to the poser thing.
And I'm this, and I studied under this guy, and I went here, and okay, well, if you did all this that your paper resume says, you should easily be able to put a dish together. And they can't. They fail miserably. So I don't have a job for you, I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying? But my all-time favorite was a kid told me he came in, and he came right from culinary school, and he was decent. He was okay, nothing spectacular, but he was moldable. He could be molded into something good. So the first night, I have him on the line, and he's working with me on saute, and I'm teaching him. End of the night comes, and he goes, I go, okay. He goes, okay, I'll see you later. I go, wait a minute. What do you mean, see you later? He goes, we're done, right? I go home. I go, no, you got about 2 hours worth of cleaning to do. I says, we clean hospital clean. I said, we break down the whole kitchen, we scrub it from top to bottom. You got to get your hands and knees. You got to scrub out all the inside of the boxes. We're very, very sad. We work very, very clean here. He goes, I don't clean. He goes, this is 18. I think it was 18 or 19-year-old kid. Right at He goes, I don't do that. I don't clean. I go, what do you mean you don't clean? I go, no, you misunderstood. I go, I don't clean. The owner, the chef owner, I walk off the line, and my staff finishes that up, because that's the only thing that I can actually do now in life. Have that, that's the level that I don't have to clean anymore, because I did it 30 years of my life. He goes, no. He goes, he goes, I'm a chef. He goes, chefs don't clean. He goes, Bobby Flay, and starts naming off all the Food Network chefs. Guy Fieri starts going all down the whole list of they don't clean. I shook his hand. I said, thank you very much. I'll have your pay for you next week. What do you mean? I don't have a job? No. We clean here. And you're not that guy. And those guys been doing it for 30 years, and guess what? They were on their hands and knees scrubbing out boxes. I says, you got to lose this entitlement egomaniac thing, because you will not even get a job at a diner. Sorry, I have nothing for you. What? Beat it.
Allergic reaction he has.
Beat it.
All right.
To posers?
Just allergic reaction.
I think we're all agreed. Posers are awful.
Posers are awful.
I'm meh about them, you know. I'm meh. You know, I mean, I don't have the allergic because I deal not with Mike, but I deal with it day in and day out. I deal with a lot of restaurant owners. I deal with a lot of chefs. I deal with a lot of people that don't have Mike's talent, right? And listen, they're great, but there's a lot in every industry. There's a lot of posers, and as a business owner, I'm just like, you know, okay, yeah. I just look at them, and you know, I know what my dad went through. I know what Mike went through. You know, I know the hardships of it, and I can tell a restaurant that goes into business or a deli that goes into business, and they don't know, they haven't been through the process, and just like Mike says, they went to culinary school and maybe their father or somebody gave them money, which is an atrocity because it happens all the time, and then within 6 months they're out of business. So to me, it's, you know, it's another customer to me, you know, and that's why I'm mad about it. I don't have Mike's allergic reaction.
Sure.
But there's something to be said for just being authentically yourself and not worrying about what.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
What else you got?
All right, last one. It's a little esoteric and weird, but it's a food thing. Cheese on pie.
What's cheese on pie?
Yeah. So in the Midwest, we have this thing where we'll serve a slice of apple pie with a slice of American cheese on top, sort of melting and
melted onto the pie.
No. I mean, the pie is served warm, and so the cheese will then kind of melt into. I don't know. I guess it's a Dairyland
Sounds
thing.
disgusting.
I guess this.
Now, is it American or is it cheddar?
It's American.
You can almost
cheddar
understand
sounds good.
cheddar.
I could probably understand
Cheddar
cheddar.
sounds good though, so maybe I'm remembering it wrong. I don't know. I never
American cheese.
partook. I always.
Because American cheese is pretty much processed. It's not
I
really
hate
a true.
American cheese. It's
like
terrible.
processed. But coming from the land of cheese,
I like
you know,
New York.
It's what
where
I
you're
grew up
from,
on.
I mean,
It's what I grew
I'm
up
surprised it's not a nice cheddar or.
No.
Gouda, I mean, anything.
But you guys have never heard of this.
I never heard of it. I mean, we're talking about beautiful food.
Posers to
Tape really
pie on
just set
cheese.
this around. Oh my God.
$35 baskets of bread.
It's all crazy.
Is this something your mom did for you, or?
No, other people did though.
Oh, okay.
We didn't
crazy.
do it. We were like a traditional a la mode family.
Okay. I'll
Scoop of
that.
vanilla.
Yeah, I was gonna say like ice cream, even whipped cream, you
Whipped
know,
cream.
but cheese.
Did you ever eat
That's
it?
awful.
Like, did you go to
said she never
Sally's
partook.
house?
No, I never did.
Never did.
Stick in your store.
But
Did
it
you
was
go
a thing.
Did you go to Bob or Sally's house and
No.
they had it during?
Well, see, the interesting is about, which is great about this country and the whole world, actually, food is amazing and everything.
Yeah.
I was very
Yes.
fortunate to live in a lot of different states, Midwest. I lived in Tulsa, Oklahoma. I lived out in the whole West Coast, everywhere out there. So I seen the different cuisines and the different, you know, what people like, and it was pretty cool. But you go to Tulsa, Oklahoma, you're greeted, like, we greet people with a basket of bread, with breadsticks. You will never see this in Tulsa, Oklahoma. So you won't have an account there, by the way. They greet you with smoked meats.
I'm gonna get out of Jersey. I'm not going to Tulsa.
You get greeted with smoked meats. You get smoked bologna. You get a smoked rib or something. That's what they greet you with, a plate of smoked meat.
Wait, when you sit down at a restaurant,
Correct.
instead of bringing a basket of bread, they bring
Smoked meat.
Smoked meats.
I located in the wrong state.
That is,
The biggest thing there is which you know, me, you know, growing up in New Jersey, being born here and, you know, growing up there, you know, we think of bologna, you know, sliced on a, you know, sandwich, bologna sandwich, you know, whatever, chick house, whatever. There, bologna is barbecue. They cut it really thick, and they barbecue it. They smoke it in the smoker, and they put barbecue sauce on it, and they grill it, and they bake it in the oven.
Because it's kind of the same as a hot dog, right?
Yeah,
It's a
yeah,
little
it
smoky,
actually is.
So
yeah.
you get barbecued bologna out there, and I remember
Yeah.
just getting a big chunk of barbecue bologna. I'm like, I'm in bizarro land. 'Cause,
Right.
you know, Jersey boy out there, and everybody's like, y'all like that barbecue bologna? And you're like, wow, weirdo. Like, everything out there is smoked, though. In Tulsa, everything is smoked. It's crazy.
When you had the bologna roll-ups, were they barbecued?
No.
No.
No, my
I'm
dad-
taking it all the way back
It
to
is
like
pretty
one of our
cool.
first couple
Episode
episodes
two,
there.
yeah. My mom used to take slices of bologna, you know, curl them into a little roll up and then stick it with a toothpick and then present it to us on a plate like it was hors d'oeuvres or something for
pretty
dinner.
cool.
I know, right? Yeah. My dad also used to fry up bologna in a pan with a bunch of sugar on
Well,
top.
I don't know about the sugar, but fried
bologna is
yeah,
delicious.
yeah,
Fried bologna's
yeah.
The sugar, I don't know about the
Sure.
sugar either, but
Yeah,
whatever.
kind of strange, but
Kind of weird, right?
Yeah.
I don't know.
You guys are crazy
I
out
get
there.
it.
no, you're just saying it's weird, so I don't feel so bad.
No,
do
I
that.
thought it was weird.
Cheese curds are amazing out there.
Cheese curds are so amazing, right?
The pie with the cheese thing. I mean, you know, I'm a baker, so and we sell a ton of pies, so I'm getting a headache thinking
So
about
like
putting cheese on it.
cheesecake. Cheese can be a sweet. not just a savory. So I guess
It's American
theoretically-
cheese, Kate.
I know, it's weird. I don't get it.
It's not cream cheese.
I know.
It's American.
You're right.
There's no. Besides the food coloring. There's no flavor
so
to it.
weird. Oh, I don't like to think about the food coloring. That's
That's what
hideous.
it is. It is what it is. Yeah.
What, on cheese?
Yeah.
Now it really,
Food
I think,
coloring,
it
yellow
might
and
not
white.
really bad with a nice slice of good aged cheddar would be.
Yeah.
Maybe
because
not bad.
cheddar and apples go very well together.
They do. Maybe I'm remembering it wrong. Maybe it is cheddar. Oh, I hope so.
I don't know
Listeners,
why
somebody
this.
tell me.
But she tells me about that, and I don't know why I think about your meat candle. Mike's making a meat candle. Mike's
An actual candle made out of meat?
right. So Mike's got this. He's got a lot of hobbies, right? Making
Yes.
candles is one of them. He's got
I
a
make
whole.
candles.
Tell what
I
what's
have
the
a
company.
company called Export Candle Company.
He doesn't sell them. He should, but he just makes candles. And in the restaurant, he's making a meat candle. And I'm like, dude, that's horrible, but it's awesome.
Like
My
my
mind
mind
is
so
blown.
awesome. No,
Wait,
listen,
so
he'll
you
tell
have the
you.
company, you don't actually sell the candles?
No, he gives them away. He came to my house. Him and Bobby came to the house. He gives everybody candles.
And they're made out of meat.
No. I'm sorry.
just one here.
The candles here at the restaurant are made of meat. He's making real candles out of soy and stuff. Yeah. And the weirdness of the pie with the American cheese, for whatever reason, triggered Mike's meat candle in my head. I don't know why that is, but I haven't had it. But when he describes it, it's awesome because
All right, so the
they
meat,
light
the
it.
meat very
Go ahead.
simple. Candles are made of fat or wax.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So you basically, and this is not my original. I learned this from a steakhouse in Chicago was doing. They were doing a Wagyu fat. They were taking the Wagyu, melting it down, and seasoning it up very highly with rosemary and garlic, and it's just basically the fat, and then pouring it into candle molds, unmolding them, torching it, and laying it at the table, and as the candle melts, the liquid is fat, which would be like olive oil or butter, whatever, because those are fats. And you dip your
stick
bread
with
into
the
it.
meat.
You dip your bread into it, and all you get is the full, rich flavor of Wagyu. Or
Crazy, right?
so we do it here. We do
Yeah.
a mixture of we do beef fat, duck fat, and pork fat, and bacon fat.
I went from being pretty revolted to
awesome.
sold
So was I.
in a matter
He
of
goes,
like 6
Hold on.
seconds.
He goes, I
yeah.
just smell this. I'm like,
I
it's
know.
a candle.
So we take it and we do it with rosemary, infused garlic, thyme, and sea salt. And then I mold them in my candle. I have little pillar candle molds. They're 2 ounces, so they're small. A cotton wick that burns with no black or anything. They're a free burning wick. We unmold them, we put them on the plate, and the server gets a little torch. And because you have to start the melting process, because if you just lit the candle, it would take forever. So they light it, and the torch starting to gets it melted, like burns like a little hole in it. So when the candle melts, it like keeps flowing down like a lava, like almost like a
How long
volcano.
does it take?
20 minutes to melt
Okay.
completely. But it's a conversation piece. So you're at
Yeah.
the table, you guys are having, we'll have a little meat candle here, and then his crusty bread. So we serve it with bread and lavash, which is flatbread, and breadsticks. And so basically, it's a conversation piece. The candle's burning, and you're just dipping your bread like you would dip it into olive oil, and it's very highly seasoned fat.
Oh, yeah, I'm
So
sorry.
I didn't mean to off track
No,
of the
that sounds
weirdness of it.
amazing.
It's so good, the meat
Once
candle.
he describes it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I
So-
see why one would make you think of the other. 'Cause
Right?
It's so
Not
unorthodox
crazy.
and drippy fat, basically.
When he showed it to me,
It's an objectively good idea.
He's telling me the candles thing, and he goes, "Oh, let me show you this." And he shows me the candle, and I'm kind of like a little revolted from it.
Yeah, I was originally imagining just like a cylindrical
Yeah.
slab of meat.
You were thinking like
with
something
like
like
a little
this.
wick. A little wick in it. And I'm like,
meat
but
doesn't
why?
burn, does
But
it?
then, Mike gets into his thing, and he does his thing with the melting and and you're like, "Oh my god, that's got to be awesome."
So good.
Okay.
I'll tell you what. I'll tell you a funny story real quick.
Alrighty.
My staff loved it so much that if the people didn't finish their the liquid, they scraped it into a little to-go container to take home, put in the microwave, and melt that fat. They were saving every candle and eating them like wild animals in the corner.
Wow.
That's how good it was.
Okay.
But the flavor, the smell, it's pretty cool.
I love it.
All right, so that's the game, right?
Yeah, that's the game.
So,
Wow.
do you guys have any advice you would give to your younger selves?
You want me to go?
Go ahead. Sure.
So I think about this all the time, right? We're about to turn, our birthdays are 3 days apart?
Yes.
3 days apart. July 5th,
days, 5th and 7th.
5th and 7th. I'm horrible with math. Finance major, horrible with math, regardless. So I think about this all the time because my dad passed away at 49. I'm 49 now, right? And my kids are young. So I'm constantly thinking about life, right?
Yeah.
So I think about my son's name's Giovanni, my daughter's name is Brielle. And I wonder what I need to tell them and teach them, before their father dies. I don't mean to be morbid, but you know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I have that stuck in my head when my father passed away early. And I keep coming back to the same thing. We have one life. I'm going to be 50. Friends of ours are passing away. We have one life. Live it. Live it well. and that's what I would tell myself when I was younger, because I was so. Not that I was a greedy person, but we grew up in the 80s, right? So greed is good, right? And you go through life with all that. And I had a great time. Like, college was awesome. I did. I had a great time.
I heard that the 80s were amazing like that.
Listen, I had a great time. I had a great time in school. I had but I think I get too serious, right? Business and like, Mike has hobbies. I have no hobbies. Like my company are my hobbies. So I would teach myself not to be so serious. Go out there and kill the world, but realize to smell the roses, and that's what I would tell myself. Yeah. So that's what I tell my kids.
That's a good one.
Yeah, that's what I tell my kids.
For me, I would tell myself to learn to make time for me and my world, because I miss so much, and what you can never get back is time. And my life is a yin yang, because if I didn't do what I did, I wouldn't be in the position I'm in. But I also have regrets of what I did, in a sense where I just dedicated my life to this business and my brand and my name, and just, I can't even tell you how many weddings I missed, birthdays, events, games, all his games, everything that people wanted me to be at for their special day. All these things were always on a Saturday, a Sunday, a Friday, and that's our busiest time in the restaurant industry across the world. And I would never take off for it. I'm like, I couldn't, because I had to be here I wouldn't let it go for 1 second. And now when I turned 40, after I turned 40 years old, which was 10 years ago, the light bulb went on or something and said, stop this madness, stop, you got to start. So then I started taking off and doing things and starting to go to people. And, it got to the point where, and this was like almost disappointing, but I understood it, was people weren't inviting me to anything anymore. And everybody was getting invited but me, because I would never go to them. I've never RSVP back saying I could make it. I said, I'm working. Like, silly. They're like, and they got to the point where, we didn't ask you because we knew you were working. Mm-hmm. And that it started affecting me a little bit. And then when I hit 40, I'm like, no, now I'm going to make some time. And I could never give up control. I was a control freak. I could never give it up. And we had many conversations about this, about not giving up control. And you would be always the one to tell me, you gotta. I
preached to him, and he listened, and I didn't.
And now I have, I still have a hand in everything in it, but it's nothing like, if I want to take off tomorrow night, if I want to take off Saturday night, I'm taking off. There's not even an ounce, like if I want to go to Atlantic City, if I want to go on vacation, I don't even think about. I'm like, the place is going to run fine if I'm here or not. Like, it's like I learned. I had to reprogram my mind, which I'm slowly going to teach him to reprogram. And I found other hobbies. I found boating. I found making candles at my house. I found music. I have a DJ business on the side too. I DJ. I love lights, and I do all these little things outside of here that I never got to do growing up. When I should have been doing this stuff, I'm doing it now. Because, like you said, there's only one life. It's short, and I want to get everything in, So, life is short. Live it, enjoy it. For me, I might live it a little too much sometimes, but I pull the trigger. I don't question things anymore. I just do what I want to do. I just pull the trigger, because there is no tomorrow. No one knows. No one's guaranteed tomorrow. And that's what I would tell myself. I would tell myself, stop working the 100 hours a week, and it destroyed everything. I mean, I lost everything over it, and I lost relationship with my son. I lost relationship with his mother. I lost everything. I just lost it all, because all I did was work. What he's like kind of doing now, that's all I did, and that's all I cared about. I didn't
got
even care
us where
about
we are, which is awesome. But it comes at
this restaurant's phenomenal.
Yeah, but that's exactly what it is. It's the price you paid, and I always question that. I go, if I didn't do what I did, I wouldn't be here today.
It's about balance, though, right?
It's about balance, and you need to do that. And at that time, it was only one way for me. It was my brand, my name, and how. I mean, I would do every competition. Anything that came around, anything to get in the press, anything, I did it. And when you guys leave, if you go out in the foyer, you'll see the whole wall of all the awards and everything I won for this restaurant. It's a whole wall filled from top to bottom, because of that drive and dedication, and I've been wanting to be the best, like really wanting to be number one. And then after 40, it didn't matter to be, you know what I'm saying? It didn't matter to be number one, you know? How many more times can I beat you in a competition? How many more times can I get an award? And you know, I'm still winning probably 3 to 4 awards a year here. And now they're just like, great, that's cool. You know, like, and that's not being conceited or anything, but it's like, yeah, cool, I got an award, you know? But before I was like, yeah, so I'm dominant, I beat you. And now I'm like, cool.
I'm almost imagining you going to like your first wedding or graduation at like 50 and being like all pumped for it and then being like, this is late. Yeah. Nobody enjoys these
I didn't miss anything.
Well, you know, I'll tell you funny, you're right about that because now, now at 50 though, everybody's on their second and third marriage.
Yeah.
You know, so I missed the first big one with the white dress and the big hall. Now it's like we got 20 people in our backyard.
Don't worry about
You know, everybody's wearing Hawaiian shirts. There's a keg of beer in the corner. Hey, we got married. Salud.
Way better.
You know, that's what it is now. It's so laid back now. It's like I missed the whole bride cuts the cake, like all that BS. I missed all that.
Yeah, you didn't miss anything.
Because that when you were in your 20s, that was the wedding everybody had. I didn't go to any of them. Though I did go to Bobby Considine's wedding. His
I didn't.
first
I wasn't
and second.
invited, by the way.
First and second. His second.
I'll see if I can get a picture to throw up.
I wasn't invited to either one.
And listen,
but I
that
didn't
was-
invite you either, so it's okay.
You know what though? That was a 3-day party with Bobby. His second one was probably one of the funnest weddings I've ever had. There's so many stories. I can't mention any of them on tape. But that was I took off for 3 days. 3 days, and that was a lot back then for me to do that.
After the video, he'll tell you so you have something on Bobby.
Man, it was,
Shout out to Bob Considine.
man, I gotta tell you, but his second wedding
NJBIA.
to his beautiful wife, by the way, God bless her,
She's a
beautiful
sweetheart.
wife.
Yeah.
They had a tremendous wedding, and that was a lot of fun down in Maryland. So we had a blast. But that was the last like kind of big hurrah like wedding. All of these now, like, hey, we're getting married. I'm like, this is like your 4th wedding. Like, how many more are you gonna have? And even here, like, we're small, and people go, oh, we're on our 3rd or 4th marriage, we want to get a wedding, we just want to have, like, a Hawaiian luau on the beach.
So optimistic. Can I
So-
just put that out there?
It's
like,
reality, though. You know that, right?
no, okay, yes, I do, but like, okay, I just got divorced. It was final in September, and it was an expensive thing to do, like to get married was
Right.
expensive,
Yes.
and it was very expensive to undo.
Yes.
And it is difficult for me to imagine a scenario in which someone talks me into doing it again.
Yeah, I thought the
because
same
it's
thing, but
just so
I did it.
expensive.
So
You did it
yeah,
again?
and I'm very happy that I did it. And when you go through your first, you do say that. You're like, this is never happening
It's
again.
never happening
And then
again.
you find the right person.
Yeah, that,
you know?
I mean,
I was gonna say a
that's
quote,
all
one of my
that.
favorite movies. It just hits you. It's like lightning.
Yeah,
So there you
yeah,
go.
I mean, that's what it is. And you know what? But the second one
Don't be
is,
jaded, Kate. Don't do it. Don't be jaded. Don't be
But
one of
listen,
those women
the second one is
with
a
the
lot-
cats.
is
You
a
have
lot-
cats? Are you a cat woman?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Bingo, the clown.
Oh my God.
But listen,
ding,
the
ding,
se-
ding, ding.
The second one
tell
is
your
not
ex
as
to call me, I'll
not
talk
as
to him.
extravagant, and the third one is really not as extravagant. And the fourth one, we're just having drinks at the bar. I mean, that's pretty much it. Hey, come on over, we're having a couple of drinks. Like,
Did you meet Mary?
Can't wait to meet my third husband.
Yeah, that's what I tell you. You're going to be my future ex-wife. So, yeah, it's pretty crazy like that. Yeah, it gets
Sorry to
Whatever,
bring you guys
no.
off the
But
rails.
that's. I like how you nailed it with the cats, though. By the way.
Yeah, I knew
Nailed
it.
it.
Catwoman. I mean, come on.
Whatever.
Wait,
God
cat
bless.
lady, okay, come
Cat
on.
lady.
Lady, I'm sorry.
God bless you.
Okay.
All right, I think that's the game.
That's the game.
Oh wait, no, that's the game. This was
Yeah,
on
this was-
advice.
yeah.
I don't know where we are.
I don't actually
Throw the
remember
script
either.
away.
I don't remember the
We
question.
told you guys
The
when you were
advice,
coming.
The advice, right? Okay, so
the advice, yeah.
All right, so now we ask you, if people want to get a whole, if
you
people want to
imagine
watch
she's
$1 Million
home,
Food
the
Guys,
cat,
where
like
can they
that?
go
No,
to do
sorry.
that?
We're okay. Sorry, I just had a visual. YouTube. $1 Million Food Guys.
Okay.
Right? We're not great at promoting it. We're going to get better. I'm going to get better at promoting it. But if you need to find us, it's hhbakery.com. Mike is
ChefMike'sABG.com.
and then we have Summer Sweets NJ, which we're just about to open up the ice cream store in a couple of weeks. We open up right when we get back from vacation in May. Our ice cream store is open from May until September. It's a seasonal thing. It's right in La Valette.
But when you go to $1 Million Food Guys, on YouTube, make sure you like the page because we're posting
32. We got 32.
Yeah, we got 32 likes.
Huh?
We're getting there, and make sure you
not
like,
likes, subscribers.
subscribe. I'm sorry, subscribe to it because
hundreds
we're
of
always
likes.
putting new content up all the
Yes.
time, and you can comment on there. You can click on each video. You can say whatever you want to do. You can give us suggestions if you have suggestions. So we're super open. We'll take it. Advice and suggestions if you want to see a show about cats.
No posers
It's not
allowed.
going to happen.
No posers. Keep the cats away.
All right.
No cat suits.
But that's how they can find us. Yeah.
Oh my God. All right. I think that's the show.
That's the show.
This was a really fun
Thank
one.
you so
Was.
Had a good time,
Nobody
guys.
ever gives us food while we're making
This
this
is
thing.
amazing.
Never came to Mike
If you're watching
David
us on
before.
iTunes, we have quite the spread
I'm
in front of
not
us.
even-
Antipasta.
So I do. We're Italian. I went to his house. He put on a spread for 65 people. There was 4 of us.
So I wanted
He
to
had
know.
food for days and days.
did.
The workers probably got half of those pizzas. But there's only
Seriously.
4 of us, and he's got a
There
65.
was 6. Bobby was there with his wife.
All right, whatever. But that's what I do too. Is I just make. There was only
Yeah.
4 of us. Look at the mangiagola I make.
Yeah,
Huh?
yeah.
It was amazing. Bob told us to eat first. Thanks, Bob.
I love the pepperoncinis.
Thought. I'm using your plate. I'm sorry.
It's all good. Thank you to our listeners and subscribers. We appreciate the support. Thank you to why can't I speak? Thank you to
Cat thing. Sorry.
New Jersey Manufacturers Insurance Group. They are the official subscriber.
If you get one thing
Wow.
right, get that. New Jersey
I
manufacturers.
love, by
Yay.
the way, and this isn't a plug, I absolutely love them.
Oh, okay.
I have them personally. I've had them for
Plug
years.
away.
My first wife, she worked for the hospital. I'm sorry. She worked for the hospital, and she had NJM, right? And you can't just get their insurance. You can't just
I
go,
know.
hey, I want your insurance. No, you have to be selected. So I was selected, Mike, because of
Wow.
G-Ray.
Good for you.
Wow.
And I've had it ever since because then I'm grandfathered.
Yeah.
And their insurance is the best. It's cheap. I'm sorry. I'm going to
Comprehensive.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's
go ahead.
awesome. It
Yeah.
really, really is. It's awesome.
The
So-
sponsor won't mind if you're going off.
They won't mind at all.
and that wasn't, I mean, it's the truth.
Yes.
It's really, really great. So
They do home, auto, and workers' comp.
Yeah,
If you need
if you're
insurance, check
selected.
them out. Yes, if you're
yeah,
selected.
gotta be selected. Sorry.
And thank you to John and Mike, the $1 Million Food Guys, for having us today.
Yeah,
thank
thanks,
you
guys. We had a
good
so
time.
much. The spread was amazing. I'm not even apologetic that I was noshing as we were
Yeah,
going.
no,
It was
no
so
doubt.
good.
Anybody
No
wants-
doubt.
Thank
We're gonna,
you.
I'm sure scoff after this.
Yeah, definitely. All right, well, we'll see you next time. Bye.
See you guys later.